Oh, come on. We are live. My microphone attached, and we can go ahead and get things started. I see we've already got a couple of people on. That is great. That is great. Well, before we get started, let me just say, if you've been struggling to understand YouTube analytics and then want to sort out how to apply those numbers to your YouTube channel, then you're in the right place because that's what we're doing today. We're digging a little deeper into our YouTube analytics and then determining what we need to do to make improvements on our YouTube channel. So keep watching. If you're new to my channel, I'm Denise Jordan, and I teach women to make wise home health and beauty decisions. So if you want to learn more about running a household, subscribe. Or if you want to grow your YouTube channel and you've been looking for a community of women focused on the same goal, subscribe because on Shout Out Sunday and on YouTube Growth Strategy Monday, we get down to the business of figuring out how to grow our YouTube channel one subscriber at a time. Okay, let's get into it. I see we've got a couple of people already on. Actually, we've got 6 people that are on. So let's say hello and see who's out there. I think I saw Stephanie at Okie Mom Life. And hey, Stephanie, how you doing? I miss those other people that are on there. Oh, Trisha from the Life I'm Trying to Live. Hey, Trisha. Hey, Diva, Designing on a Dime. Hello to all of you in the Sister Circle that are jumping on with us today. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you guys had a great Easter. April Will just joined us. And Stephanie said she's doing fine. And how about you? I am doing great. I had a very nice Easter holiday. I was away in Georgia. I went to visit my youngest son and his family. So I got to see my 2 youngest little granddaughters on Easter Sunday, all dressed up in their beautiful little Easter dresses, and to watch them have fun at an Easter egg hunt. It was just such a nice holiday. So yes, it was great. And so you guys had a good holiday as well. Well, good. Well, good. It's always good when we can have a great time with family. And I tell you what, with my family being so spread out, it's always nice when we got the opportunity to get together. And actually, my daughter that lives in Memphis, she and her family drove up to Atlanta. And so 2 of my 3 children were there with their families. My son that lives here wasn't able to get away. So it was nice to get away. And actually, I just got back today. But it was a nice flight, no problem at all. Other than the fact that got on the plane, I think there's Liz, you guys will not believe, got on the plane and Tashi is joining us. Hey Tashi, haven't seen you for a while. Yes, I did. I really enjoyed seeing my family. And so I was going to share with you guys a story. I don't usually have a story to tell, but today I've got one. And then Kentucky Fried Fun, Ruth is on. So I've been fiending for coffee all weekend because my son nor his wife drink coffee. So they didn't even have a coffee machine. So didn't get any coffee while I was there. So got in the airport and I thought, okay, once we got through security, I'm going to grab me some coffee. So I found a place called, well, I don't know, it was some coffee shop. Bought some coffee. It was really nice. And Dollar Tree Goodies and More is here with us. And I think her name is either Sandra or Anita. I can't remember. Or is it Marianne? I'm drawing a blank today. But anyway, got the coffee and then we were invited to board shortly after I got the coffee. And we boarded a little late. So I get on the plane, me and my husband, and I'm seated and I'm trying to get my purse down underneath the seat in front of me. And I had another little bag that I was carrying with some goodies that my daughter-in-law asked me to bring back for my daughter-in-law here. So I set my cup of coffee down on the seat between my thighs so that I could hang on to it while I move the purse. Don't you know that doggone cup of coffee spilled over right into my purse. I mean, I dumped the cup of coffee in my purse. Oh my goodness, I could not believe it. Not on the floor, not around the floor, directly in my purse. So here my brand new Marc Jacobs bag that I got for Christmas is, or rather Michael Kors bag full of coffee. Not to mention all the stuff that's in the purse, you know, like my glasses, my camera, my cell phone, all of that stuff was in the purse. So now here I am trying to, you know, my husband had a bunch of tissue in his little tech bag. So I got those out. I'm trying to dab everything up. Oh my goodness. Luckily, the cell phone was in the side pocket, so it didn't get too much coffee on it. But most of the papers and things like that that were in there, it was just a wash because they were certainly messed up. So the only thing damaged was the paperwork. And when I got home, I took everything out of the bag, wiped everything down with like vinegar and water. And the stewardess or the flight attendant brought me some club soda and club soda or seltzer water. I think it was club soda. And I was able to wipe down my shirt and some of the things that were all around me because you could just smell coffee everywhere. So now the purse is all cleaned out. All the stuff is like spread out all over the table, all over the counter, drying. And the paperwork, well, I'll just have to see what I can do about that. But luckily, the electronics that I had in the bag survived. So, because I had them in like a little leather bag. So the leather bags were damp, but the things in the bag were protected. So that was good. Yeah, it was a hot mess. So, and so the stewardess, she was so funny. She was saying, yeah, she said she was from, I think, the Virgin Islands. And she was like, yeah, you know, you Americans, you guys are always just trying to multitask. She said, I see you guys get on the plane, you're wearing your earphones, you got this in your hand, you got that in your hand, you're doing this, doing that. And usually I don't take a cup of coffee onto the plane. I usually have it done before I get on. But anyway, got it done. So yeah. So that was my excitement for the day. So on our return flight, but my husband said, oh, it was the best flight he'd ever been on. There was no turbulence, no nothing. It was perfectly smooth, nice and quick. We got home early, so, but there's that. So anyway, that's my story for the day. So hey, everybody, how you doing? I'm glad to see all of you here with us today. And let me just, there, I think that ought to work. Get that tip down just a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get into our topic for today. You know, we were supposed to take a look at the YouTube analytics. And, you know, one of my favorite YouTube gurus is Sean Cannell of Think Media and Video Influencers. And he's always quoting Peter Drucker, who is, I should say, a legend in the business management sector. And he said, what gets measured gets improved. And Sean's always quoting that. What gets measured gets improved. But you know, I figured out that he's right. What it is that we're looking at to actually try to measure something, those are the things that we try to work out improving. And I've been trying to get a handle on some of that. And it would be nice if I could truly understand all the ways that we're being measured on YouTube. I don't have all that down yet. I'm a far cry from being an expert on it. But one of the things that we were to do to help us get there was to look at two videos. And one of them was how to use new YouTube analytic tools to grow your channel by Think Media. And the other one was 5 YouTube analytics that will help you grow faster by YouTube videos. Yeah, what gets measured gets improved by Peter Drucker. And Sean says all the time that Peter Drucker is the one who said it. So he doesn't try to claim that quote. So yeah. And you know, I get a lot out of watching those videos. And one of the things that I asked you guys to do today was think about maybe just 2 things to try to focus on, because we were overwhelmed, I think, or at least I was overwhelmed the last week, trying to put all of that information together. And All Things Lux by Robin just joined us. So hey Robin, how are you? And after we were off, I got to thinking maybe it would be better, number one, for us to revisit this topic, because we sure didn't get it all last week. but to try to narrow it down to 2 things that we can focus on to try to get a handle on it. And so one of the things that in one of the videos that Sean talked about was to look at your top videos and figure out determining a topic from there. So one of the metrics that he mentioned was your top 5 videos. So how many of you have now had the opportunity to take a look at the videos? And Creative by Nature is joining us again. So hey there, how you doing? And Okay Mom said her 2 biggest takeaways were, I think I'm gonna have to switch glasses. Let me do that. Stephanie, I missed what your 2 biggest takeaways were. Trisha said she had a chance to read them. And Mary's Nest is on. Sorry we didn't connect. That's okay. Mary, I think I'm kind of snuffling too today. And Brenda at Lots Home and Office is with us today. So hey, Brenda, what we're doing is we're taking a look at 2 videos by Sean Cannell on how to use YouTube metrics. And we're figuring out how to apply that to our channels. And so I think, Stephanie, I missed your comments. So Tricia says her biggest one is her hospital updates. And Brianna Sky just joined us. Hey, Brianna. Okay. And Okay Mom, how to increase the click-through rate and that minutes matter more than views, which blew her away. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Minutes matter more than views. So it really doesn't matter technically how many views you get. It's how many minutes the people watch. Now, that's kind of a catch-22 because if you don't get the views, you can't get the minutes watched because people have got to at least click on you to view your video. But once they click, depending upon how quickly they bounce is the issue. So do they stick around and they watch quite a bit or not? So Brenda asked, do you think shorter videos are better because most will watch a short video? And guys, excuse me for having to wipe my nose. Like I said, I'm kind of snuffling. One of the things that I've come across in the last 2 or 3 videos that I've looked at by different video creators, Nick Nimmons, Sean Cannell, Brian G. Johnson, is that YouTube is tending to favor longer videos. So longer content videos, anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes. So longer content videos are going to be a little bit better. And that is because of this. If you have a 3-minute video and they watch half of it, they've watched 1.5 minutes. If you've got a 10-minute video and they watch half of it, they've watched 5 minutes. So, and I tend to do longer video content. So it's been working for me. But yeah, they have the last 3 gurus that I've looked at has said that YouTube is rewarding longer content videos. So Brenda, that's just something for you to think about. Yeah, just something for you to think about. Okay, so let me ask you guys, let's see. Okay, Mom, I know as a viewer, I missed it. Stephanie, it's gone. Sorry about that. So Stephanie, if you could put that comment up there again, I'm sorry. I just can't seem to get them quick enough. So one of the things that I did when I looked at my metrics was to look at what were my top 5 videos, which were the videos that were getting the most watch time in the last 28 days. And it's really kind of interesting because it seems to have changed now that we've kind of moved into like that second part of the month. Like I think they kind of cut it off at like April 21st and then they started over or something like that. But my top 5 videos, one was my mac and cheese video, which is always my top video. The second was my Fisher-Price Rock and Play Recalled, Infant Deaths Linked to Sleeper. The third one was my spring home tour with a little farmhouse, leaning just a little bit. And that little teeny weeny live stream that I put out yesterday for Shout Out Sunday and said Happy Easter, it was only on for like 3 minutes. And that one got a significant number of views for the last 3 or 4 days that the time period that we're looking at. And then best way to remove Ring Around the Collar. Now, Ring Around the Collar did not get a lot of views when I first posted it, but it has slowly gained traction over time. In your opinion, a video viewer doesn't waste my time on a short video. I would rather click on one for 15 minutes than one for 5 minutes. Well, you know, I kind of agree with you there, Stephanie. Rarely will I make a video that's less than 10 minutes. Are series better to do? Yes, and that is certainly on point. And in the 5 or 6 videos that we've just been watching over the last few weeks, one of the things that Sean pointed out, Nick Nimmons pointed out, and I think Brian D. Johnson also said, is that series are better. And Sean definitely said, don't make a one-off random video, which is why when the Fisher-Price recall came down, I made the video, and it dropped on like Friday. It was like they recalled those sleepers on Friday, April 12th. I had my video up on Saturday, April 13th, which put me behind on some other things, but I had to get in front of that topic. And then I made a second video on how to apply for the refund. Now, I haven't got as much traction on that one just yet, but I'm hoping it'll come. An interesting thing, I was looking at analytics on that particular video because that's what we're supposed to be doing today. And my viewer duration, or your viewer duration, is how long the viewer actually spends watching your video. My viewer duration on that video was 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Now, typically I have a viewer duration of about 5 minutes on most of my videos, about 5.5. That one was only about a 12-minute video, and I had a viewer duration of about 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And I had to go and look, which is what Sean suggests we do, but I had to go and look like, why are they jumping off at 2 minutes and 10 seconds? What was happening at that time? And one of the things that I do is I do a worksheet when I do a video. And so I could look through to see where I gave my hook, where I gave my intro, where I started my content, and that kind of thing. And at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and this particular video was how to get a refund based upon the Rock and Play Sleeper recall. And hey, Shelly, good to see you. And by the time you got to 2 minutes and 10 seconds, I had told them when the recall happened. I had given them the news release by Fisher-Price. I had talked about what they needed to do quickly, like how they needed to either have their receipt, and if they didn't have their receipt, they could write the date that they bought it and write it on the hub assembly piece, which is what they'd be sending back to the manufacturer. And they bailed. So I guess they figured they had all the information that they needed to know. And by 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I told them more about what they needed to do if they had the receipt and if they did not have the receipt, which was interesting because after that, at about 3 minutes, I started telling them, well, hey, Sandra at A Beautiful Nest TV, good to see you today. But at about 3 minutes, I started telling them how to get the mailing label. So it was just interesting for me to look at those metrics. And I will have to be honest, I had never done that before. I had not looked at that information. So I'm not really sure how to apply that piece for this particular video because I really didn't do much fluff in this video. And when they jumped off, there was still important information they needed. They just didn't know they needed it because, you have to apply for the mailing label. And there's a process that you have to go through, which I walked them through step by step. So it was just interesting, though, for me to look at that. So let's say you make 6 videos in a series. What's the release date strategy for a series release all over? Well, if you've got 6 videos for a series, and this is a little bit off topic, Brenda, but if you've got 6 videos for a series, from the information that I've learned, depending upon how often your video upload schedule is, if you upload once a week, then you should upload that series once a week for 6 weeks. If you upload twice a week, then you should release 2 videos a week until all 6 videos are released. I don't advise releasing 6 videos each one day in a row if you don't normally do daily uploads. Because this is the thing. you normally upload twice a week or 3 times a week, and then you upload all these videos in a row, then what do you have coming down the pipe for the next few weeks out? You don't want to overtax yourself or burn yourself out. So if your normal schedule is twice a week or 3 times a week, then keep to that schedule. Yeah, Tashi, a beautiful nest does wonderful gardening. She really does. And so Stephanie's been practicing reading her analytics, but more importantly, her audience retention. And yes, I tell you what, that audience retention was really an eye-opener to me. So that's what I've been looking a lot at. And my typical audience retention, well, it varies. For example, on my typical video, which my videos typically range from 8 to 15 minutes, my usual audience retention is about 5.5 minutes. But on my Shout Out Sunday and my YouTube Growth Strategy Mondays, my typical audience retention is about 16 minutes. So that rate changes depending upon what the content is. So excuse me. So has anybody else picked up anything significant from looking at those analytics? And like I said, it's not something we can all get in one day. So what 1 or 2 things that you try to zero in on? Okay, did 2 tag tips. So you told me about when you open a separate video and he walks you through. Yes. So one of the things that he talked about was, opening 2 tabs and not tags. Okay. Well, in one of the things that I did come out, so lots look at drop-off rates and then you can move the cards around. Yes. Okay. So what she's talking about moving the cards around is that if your audience retention is 5 minutes, and then you see people start to drop off, then maybe you might want to put in a card, an iCard that introduces another one of your videos or something on a similar topic to kind of generate interest. You know, they look up and they see that and then, oh, let me click on that. And then with Mary's Nest, she said she found it interesting to look at audience retention as well. So, and Mary, you might want to repost your comment because I was thinking about what Oki said and I missed yours. So if you could repeat that comment, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, audience retention, I just think it's so interesting. And you have to figure out what's happening that they're dropping off. And when I was trying to look at those graphic charts, I couldn't quite understand it completely, but I did try to go and look to see what I might have been doing on the video when they dropped off. And I found that helpful. So when I looked at the one about the Fisher-Price recall, and I went right to that 2 minutes and 10-second mark and then backed it up to see, okay, so what was I talking about when? And I'm thinking, okay, they think they have all the information they need. And that's why they jumped off. Because that was the one video I think I really did a good job of not putting in too much fluff. And you guys know I can be quite chatty, so that's saying something. Okay, so let's see. Let me take a look at my notes because there were a couple things that I want us to talk about. So, okay, so if one of the metrics we were to look at was our top 5 videos, did anybody get any good ideas from looking at that? Because if something's in your top 5, you want to be looking at what is the topic? Is it something that you need to repeat or to do something similar? So who got good information from looking at their top 5 videos? Like for myself, when I looked at my top 5 videos, yeah, the gray section, I didn't understand that either. And when I was looking at it, I thought, okay, so I want my blue line to be up here. And I will say half the time my blue line was down below. And Shelly said all of hers were like homeschool related. Okay. Okay. So did you get any good topics though, Shelly? What are some good topics that came out for you or that you think you need to do? Or the other thing that you could have considered doing was look at what's trending in on the other homeschool niches. So Creative by Nature said she was surprised at what was in her top 5 over the last 28 days. How so? And then Mary said her top 5 videos focused on traditional food preparation, bone broth, sourdough, etc. And Stephanie said hers were all over the place, not related, needed to niche down. Ruth said her $5 Goodwill challenges are always one of the top 5. And yes, Ruth, my $5 Goodwill challenge usually is one of the top 5. So that's a good one. So if you guys, if that kind of a collaboration makes sense for you, I would encourage you to participate in that collab when it comes around again, if that's the kind of thing you enjoy doing. And then Sylvia is here and Cheryl is here. So hey, ladies, it's good to have you with us today. We're talking about when we looked at the metrics, what top 5 videos popped out. Now, Rosie from Painting the Roses Red said hers are all decor related. What are some of the topics, though, or the titles you're thinking about doing, Rosie? Because that's the thing. We want to kind of maybe some ideas that you have might be helpful for someone else. So, hey, Nicholas, how are you? So Penny at Penny's Place is here, and then Rosie's here too. So what were some of the video topics that you thought you need to try to do? I thought with my mac and cheese is always number 1. So I thought, okay, I cannot do another mac and cheese recipe because I don't want to compete with that. But I thought I would like to repeat that success, and I was hoping to repeat that success with my meatloaf recipe. But that's not happening. I'm not getting the views on the meatloaf one that the other one did. Yeah, if you've got some super popular videos, it might be good to try to do something similar, but not exactly repeat that same topic. And I certainly don't want to compete with that mac and cheese recipe that I made. So I don't want to do another mac and cheese recipe, at least not soon. Not till I get to 200,000 views on that. So what video topics have been winning? What videos have been winning topics for you? And then what videos are your competitors making? And you guys are all supposed to look at finding at least 5 people that were your competitors. And again, not competitors from the perspective that you're trying to beat someone at something, but just competitors from the perspective that you're all in the same niche, you attract the same kind of people. Yeah, maybe another side dish, Rosie. That's what I'm thinking, because a couple of my other side dishes did very well. So I think that was Diva said using numbers in the title, like the 9, this or that, proved to work very well for her. And I will say that one of the things that I've learned is that putting numbers in the title does work very well. So that was why we were doing our 3 things challenge. Okay. So Ruth says her spring cleaning and I think it was her home, give her home a hug, were her top videos. And again, cleaning videos are always, always huge. And we're in the same niche, Ruth, from the perspective that we both like cleaning videos. So I need to get to doing some more of those. So Mary said she found her competitors or other channels in the same niche are doing basic videos and not as intricate as hers, and they're charging for them, and she's not. So she said that was interesting. Potato salad or something like that for summer. Yeah, you know what? I think that's what I'm going to have to do, Ruth, is really try to see what's another good side dish. And Creative Arts by Nature, DIY challenges are good for you. So Sylvia says her top ones were motivation, laundry, clean with me, and then other tags. Oh, Rosie said she did the 3 things video in a live stream with her husband, and that one did very well for her. Okay, great. Great. All right, so there was that one. The other metric that Brian G. Johnson talked about and that Sean Cannell talked about was viewer view velocity. And I was a little surprised at that one. So with the view velocity, they're talking about how quickly are people jumping onto your video. So like if you publish a video, how many views do you get in the first 3 hours? That's critical. How many views you get in the first 3 hours and then the first 24 hours. So they call that view velocity. And the more views you get in that short period of time is really important. So what I'm thinking now then is when you participate in a collaboration and you guys all release your videos, let's say at 7 a.m. Eastern, and then people just right away jump on the collaboration and start looking at the videos, that's got to be good. Mary said her longest videos, 30 minutes each, were some of her best ones, I'm thinking. So there's that. So when we talk about view velocity, are any of you guys using, so Trisha said she doesn't get a lot of views in the first 24 hours. So Trisha, what I have to ask you then is, what are you doing to improve that? And that's, again, we're all supposed to be looking at that. But so when we talk about how to increase your views and how to increase your watch time, one of the ways that that all the gurus we've looked at have talked about is use of tags. Excuse me. I got a tickle in my throat. Use of tags and optimization of your title. Have you been working with that? And keywords. Stephanie uses the free keywords everywhere and the free vidIQ. So Trisha, I'm going to ask you about what you're doing with your tags and your titles. Guys, excuse my snuffling. All of a sudden I got this tickle in my throat and my nose is stuffy. So please, I'll try not to be too indelicate. Yes, Tashi, I'm okay. I was, so tag, title, and thumbnails. No, I think it's thumbnail, tag, and title. Yeah, that's it. I think it's thumbnail, tag, and title in that order. Or was it thumbnail, title, and topic? Thumbnail, title, and topic might have been what he said. But you got to have a good thumbnail. So what's your thumbnails looking like? And then Trisha says that you believe your tags and titles are good. Somebody take a look at Trisha's channel. Take a look at her title. I'll see if I can get my phone over here and take a look at that. But let's just see. Because I was looking at a few things when oh, you group topic with title. Which channel? The Life I'm Trying to Love. So Sandra, if you look over on the side where she just made a comment, if you click on her picture, there'll be a little, there's like a little drop down box that'll come up that'll say, what do you want to do? And if you say go there, you can go check her out. But yeah, that'll give us some information about that. But I've got a couple things I want to say about a few channels toward the end. So if you guys can stick with me to the end, I'll do just a little bit of a title and channel, review, but a little bit of title and tag review that I looked at in reference to our Landro chats, because I just thought that was just kind of interesting. So one of the things that Sean says is that we should try to level up 1% in everything that we do. And I had to think about that, like what on earth is, like when to level up 1%, how will you know that you've done it? So I kind of asked a few people in my other group that I'm in, I'm like, how will we know? Like, is there something specific that we can point to? And hello, Inspiring Mealtime. I think this might be the first time you've joined us, or is it the second time? But one of the things that was suggested is that what you do is examine a couple of your videos and take a look at what it is you're doing and then decide, okay, What can I do better? Did I talk too much? Did I talk too long? What does my thumbnail look like? Did I use words to let people know that I'm about to wrap up or close the video? Those kinds of things. So I was really looking at that all weekend. And one of the things that I did while I was there with my son's family, well, one of them was really kind of funny because my youngest granddaughter, Morgan, is 7. And so I was looking at some of the videos in the collaboration that I did with Moomdas, the ones on the Useful DIY Challenge. And we were going through, and I was getting through the playlist because I still had videos to get through. And you live streamed for 2 hours the other day. Yeah, well, we're usually on for about an hour and a half. And now that's a good thing to be able to do that. So Morgan and I were looking at the videos. And she was really pretty astute. I mean, at 7, there were a couple things that she was picking out. And I was showing her some of my thumbnails. And I said, oh, this thumbnail. And it was the last one that I did on the Fisher-Price recall. I thought, gosh, it's a little dark. It looked better to me when I put it up. But then when I saw it in line with all the other thumbnails, it just was a little dark. And Morgan goes, gosh, Grandma, your pictures are horrible. And I'm like, well, gee, thanks. And I certainly didn't think they were all horrible. But she's like, gosh, Grandma, your pictures are horrible. And she particularly pointed to that last one. So I had my son, her dad, look at it later. And I said, I'm really trying to work on my thumbnails. Do you have any suggestions? And he said, well, they could stand to be a little brighter. Yeah, Mary, I know, Mary. I've seen a couple of those comments where they've told you talk too much. Because, I watch your videos and sometimes I look at the comments that people will give. Yeah, kids will just cut right to the chase. So I'm working on that. But that was just kind of funny. But yes, so every video that we make, Sylvia says, we want to try to do better. So if we think about leveling up by 1%, then how will we know when we get there? Well, depending upon what it is that you choose, then you'll look at the metrics or the numbers associated with that. So what analytic will you guys focus on to do that? What did you pick? So now, which thumbnail are you talking about, Tashi? My thumbnail, or are you talking about Trisha's or somebody else's? Because I've really been working at trying to make my thumbnails clearer and using fewer words. And that was one of the things that Sean talked about in regards to increasing your audience retention, was that your thumbnail was key. So someone just said starting out clean with me in their videos has seemed to increase their watch time. Yeah, her cleaning videos get more views. She does cleaning videos and vlogs. And yes, so now that's a key point. When she said when she starts her title with clean with me, if they seem to get more watch time, well, that's when you're optimizing your title and you lead with your key phrase or your key word. Oh, okay, Tashi. Well, thank you. Thank you. I tell you, my little Morgan pulls no punches. She just calls it like it is. So thank you. Trisha wants to know, when I take a picture of myself as a thumbnail, do I use a lot? And when you put the video out, put it on private before you put it on public. Well, that's just one of those settings you should always have. Whenever you put up a video, for number one, they should always be set to private. And they go public or scheduled once you've done all the optimization and the tweaking that you want to do. So always make that set to private, number one. Automatically set to private, and then you publish or schedule later. And then when you do your thumbnails, you want to put as fewer words on them as possible. I think Mary said last week that she read somewhere, or Sunny Lenaducci maybe, that said you should only use about 4 or 5 words on a thumbnail. And then, because as Sean also reminded us, we don't want the thumbnails to be cluttered. We don't want it to be busy. So you want the faces to be big. And yes, I will take several pictures and decide which one is the best one. And sometimes my husband's taking those pictures, and after he's taken 10, he'll be like, okay, that's enough. We got to have one in there. Yes, Sunny Lenarducci, and she's a great YouTube guru as well. She says keep the words on your thumbnail to 4 to 5 words. The other thing that Sean talked about was not making the words on the thumbnail repeat the words in the title, that you should somehow make it a teaser or something like that. It can be similar to it, but not completely the same. So my choice in what metrics I was going to focus on, I'm going to focus on audience retention. That's what I decided. I'm going to focus on audience retention and watch time. And I looked down and looked up and the comment was gone. So I'm sorry about that. But I decided that I was going to focus on audience retention and watch time. And so I want you guys to tell me what you're going to focus on. So tell me what you're going to focus on, and then I'm going to put a note on the community tab on my channel, and then I'm going to ask you guys to come over there and put that note in there as to what you plan to focus on for the next couple of weeks. But I'm going to focus on audience retention, and I'm going to focus on watch time. And then he gave us a couple of different ways that we could try to do that. And one of the ways to increase audience retention and watch time was thumbnails. So I'm going to really focus on my thumbnails and try to figure out how to make them brighter. The other thing that I'm going to do is work on trimming the fat. So yes, the thumbnail will catch the viewer's eyes and complement the title. And I know on my infant sleeper recall videos, it was so hard to get a good picture of the sleeper at just the right angle so that you could see that it was an inclined sleeper and see the baby doll in there. It was just hard. And I was saying that to my son. He was like, you just got to use more light. You just got to get a better angle. Okay, I would try to do that. But the other thing that I'm going to try to do is recommend specific videos with a verbal call to action. And there were a couple people that did that when I was going through, and I'll come to them somewhere towards the end. I've got it in my notes as to who was doing some of that. But the other thing I'm going to try to focus on is using end screens and iCards. So when I see that, if I know that I get a drop at 5.5 minutes, then maybe at 5 minutes, or 5 minutes and 15 seconds, I would throw up an iCard and they could see that one and say, oh, well, maybe I can check that out to try to work with that. And then graphics. So I think I'll work more with graphics. And yes, Stephanie, you did a good job with call to actions. And I mentioned that last week when I kind of did a mini review of your channel when we were looking at a couple things. But Mary's going to try to focus on, okay, all right, well, cool. So that's what I'm going to focus on. So now, Trisha, are you in the hospital? You said you're going to be released on Friday. Are you back in the hospital? But yeah, so that's what I'm going to focus on. So who else wants to share what they're going to focus on? Like, what 2 things are you going to focus on over the next couple of weeks? Oh, you've been in the hospital for 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. Well, I thought maybe you had gone home. So hopefully you'll be home soon. We understand you can't be doing YouTube videos while you're in the hospital. You're supposed to be focusing on rehab. So Julie Marie is going to focus on watch time. What specifically are you going to do, Julie, for watch time? Like, what is your plan of action? Because that's the thing. I want everyone, if possible, to have a plan of action. So I'm going to put a post on our on the community tab so that you can come over. You're going to play around with upload time, says Stephanie, and then Rosie's going to work with iCards to see if that'll help her click-through rate. And Creative Arts, click-through rate and retention, and Brianna's just saying hi to Julie. Okay, so there we are. So let's just think about a couple of things. So, Was that Tashi that asked for a channel review someday? Sure, Tashi, I can do that. So Rosie said she's going to play with upload times, and I need to do that as well. So I need to work on upload times too, and I will usually upload about 8 o'clock in the morning, between 7 and 8 a.m. But the vidIQ suggested I should upload, that best times are around 9 p.m. for me, and I just don't want to believe that. It just seems to vary each day. So hi, Ajaki, glad to see you. Always good to have you join us. You know what, Cheryl, when you say what's the best time to upload, that is going to vary for each one. I think each of us should download the free version of vidIQ, and they will have a little tab that tells you what's the best time to upload for your area. And they typically tell me between 9 and 11 o'clock p.m. Stephanie said hers is between 7 p.m. and she normally posts in the morning. And that's why sometimes I'll try to do a premiere, because if I do a premiere, then you're going to get people jumping on because it's live, so to speak, early on. I don't know. I just can't believe that 9 p.m., but I'm going to play around with that. I think I just should. Since I'm paying for it, I should at least try to do what they suggest. And Julie's is between 7 and 9 a.m. Okay. Penny said, where is that tab? Mary said she thinks vidIQ is off on that as well. Yeah, see, I thought that was wrong. When you have vidIQ, it's over on the right. Like you'll have your list of, when you're getting ready to deploy your video, it'll have like, when you can choose what times you're going to, if you're going to schedule or publish or whatever, then down below that, somewhere down in that area, it'll have best time to publish. And then you click on that and it'll give you best time to publish for each day. So yeah, I think, Mary, you're right. And someone else had just said on the East Coast, I think we have to do our due diligence and look at our own analytics to see when are people jumping on for us. And I must admit, I have not done that. This analytic thing, I will admit, has been hard, and I have been running from it. Yeah. So Diva's going to work on improving her titles and her call to action. I've really been trying to work on my call to action as well, and particularly calling to action another video before I end the video. Yeah, Trisha, we're all confused by our analytics. That's why we're looking at them again. We're trying to get there, because I tell you what, it is hard. They are hard. So, have you looked at what videos your competitors are making? Have you ladies done that? And the beta analytics or the old page, I tried looking at the new analytics in the YouTube studio. And I also look at in the old one. So now Trisha said she doesn't have any, but you got to have some competitors, Trisha. You just have to figure out who they are. That's what you have to do. You have to figure out who they are. And you're probably not going to be able to do that while you're in the hospital. Jackie said it reminds her of stats in college. Oh my gosh, yes. So the new beta studio, it has some really great information in there, and that is where a lot of people are finding some good information. So try looking at the new beta studio. So yeah. So yeah, you've got to look at what's the best time for your particular viewers, because each of us has our own unique audience. And depending upon who that audience is going to determine when they come on to look. So now my question is, how are you going to measure improving? Yeah, Mary, those beta analytics can be so overwhelming. That's why we have to just narrow down to 2. Just look at 2. If you look at all of it, you're going to go crazy. So that was why I thought, okay, at least I should speak for myself. I was just so overwhelmed trying to look at all of that information, and I decided 2 was all that I could look at and try to make sense of, and then 2 to pick to work on. So I'm working on watch time and audience retention. Those are the 2 analytics I'm going to really focus on and then try to improve. Those are the ones I'm measuring and working specifically to try to improve. Now, how will this affect? Yeah, once you master those 2, then you can move on to something else. Now, Sylvia said she tried using Creative Studio for her analytics and it was easier to cipher. Okay, well, if that worked for you, I find all of it's a little bit difficult, but the new Beta Studio does seem to be just a little bit cleaner to understand. Doesn't seem to be quite so busy. And I will look at my YouTube Studio a lot too. So Roberto Blake does 4 p.m., but then he's in California time. Okay, you've got to look at where you are and just what works best for you. Yeah, Brianna, I like the YouTube Studio app as well because I can get that so quickly on my iPad, and I like the way it shows the metrics. It's got the analytics and you can look at each of the different areas. But the problem with the YouTube Studio app is that it's 48 hours behind, but it still gives you data to work from. So Mary says a lot of the YouTube gurus post around noon for the East Coast. Okay. Now, one of the things that I noticed, now my mac and cheese is my best performing video, but it's been down. I noticed it's been down about 29%. It's been down 29%. And the audience retention for that one is usually about 5 minutes and 39 seconds. Now, how do you finish, like jump off from watching a video that's showing you how to bake something? It's like if you jump off before you finish baking it, you don't see the end product. So Mary, I think I just missed something. But one of the things that I've been doing to try to continue to boost that video is that at the end of the videos that I'm on, I would try to do a call to action where I say, if you like comfort food, then you know, my mac and cheese recipe is to die for, so check it out, and I'll put it here. Oh, that's a good idea, Mary. Just go ahead and do other versions and put it on a playlist. That's true. And I like the idea that I think Ruth said about focusing on another side dish, like potato salad or something like that. So I think that's what I'll do. So have you guys thought about, those of you that have 1,000 or more subscribers, and if you have a community tab on your channel, have you thought about trying to figure out a way to test your thumbnails to see which one people respond to? Well, right now it's landscaping time. So that's why you're getting views on that one. But yeah, I think I'm going to do another side dish and then have add that to my, well, I'll create another side dish different from my Thanksgiving side dish. But I'm already planning ahead. Like I had, So if you mention a high performing video at the beginning, then that can help push it. You know, Mary, I haven't gotten a lot of traction out of my community tab, but this is how I'm using it, and I'm trying to promote engagement of it. And I think it's just a matter of teaching our community members that it's important. So what I've been doing is I've been posting polls on there. So like I put 3 different thumbnails for my first Fisher Price recall video, and I asked viewers which one did they think made the most impact. And the one that I thought they would pick was not the one they picked. And I had already uploaded it. So I may change that thumbnail, and it was to the one that they picked. But it was interesting just to kind of get their perspective. And then I've also put a couple polls on there about what I should, what's the next dish I should cook online. Like if I should cook chicken and noodles or chicken and dumplings or something else. So I've been using it for that purpose. So that's what I'm going to do but this week I'm going to put a note on there for us to, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, I believe, to have a community tab. I think that's all you need is 1,000 subscribers. I don't know if there's a watch hour requirement or not. But you do have to have 1,000 subscribers. And so, a lot of people are just beginning to use it. And I don't know, I think Daryl Eves doesn't think it's going to pan out very well. But I just thought I'd give it a try since it's there. It's a way to connect with your viewers off of, say, a video. So you guys can connect with one another just directly. So I thought I'd give it a try. And it's been helpful to me, I think. I'm going to try more thumbnail testing on there. One other thing that I did find, just to kind of show you guys, so yeah, you can chat directly with your viewers on your community tab. One of the things though that I did find when I was looking at some of my metrics was that my spring home tour, it was very interesting to look at the numbers associated with that one. That video was probably about 25 minutes. And it had a, if you have a website and embed your videos, people will click on them and that gives you a boost. Tricia says she's not getting a lot of interaction apart from our community. I think they just have to find you, Tricia. Yeah, prayer requests would be a good place to put that on that community tab. So I was going to share with you guys one of the things that I had looked at was my spring home tour, and I mentioned it had a little bit of a farmhouse bent to it. And that video was 15 minutes and 32 seconds. It was my second for number of watch time in that it had 30,000 minutes, I think. I think I'm reading that right. And it had 7,264 views, but audience retention bounced at about 4 minutes and 14 seconds. So they watched about 27% of the video and then they left. That particular video also, I got 93.8% likes. No, take that back. That video, I had 88% likes. So typically my overall likes ratio is about 93.8%. That video got 88%. So my likes on that video were way down. Or certainly I have more dislikes than I normally get. And so I took a look at the metrics to kind of say, okay, so what's going on there? And 40% of the viewers came from the browse feature, which from what I understand are subscribers. And then the other 40% came from suggested videos. But I cannot tell you how many people commented, at least 3 or 4, that they thought my home was dated, that I needed to repaint those dark cabinets white and give it a more updated look and things like that. So I thought, well, either you like it, or you don't. But I could definitely see that where my numbers changed there. And I just thought it was just kind of interesting. But one of the things, though, that I did decide, though, based upon the fact that the home tour was one of my best performing videos, is that I should do more home tours, or certainly if not more home tours, more kitchen tours, because those always do very well. So what do you think you're going to do a video on, Stephanie? I missed that part. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mary. Several people said that I need to paint my kitchen cabinets and that it's dated. It's dark and dated was what woman said. Your kitchen is dark and dated. You need to paint those cabinets. And I'm like, well, okay. I don't like painted wood, though, for the most part. So Stephanie's asking for prayer requests. Well, why don't we have a prayer request that Trisha at The Life I'm Trying to Love gets better and does well in rehab. So I'm going to throw that one out there for you, Stephanie. Because I didn't realize she was still in the hospital. So let's all send good thoughts, good vibes, and prayers her way. And then I was looking at my meatloaf recipe, because remember I said that. Now, Ruth, you said your kitchen cabinets are dark, and so is most of your furniture, but I don't think your kitchen cabinets are as dark as these. This is like that 1970s, dark cabinets. So that's what that is. But you know what? I like it. I don't like painted wood. And Liz is on, and Kenya just jumped on. So, okay. Hey, ladies. But I was talking about how I was trying to see if I could beef up or bump up my meatloaf recipe. And I don't think it's going to happen because my watch time for that and the views for that just is not getting it. So it's just I'm just going to have to just let it get traction over time. But it's not going to replicate what's going on with the mac and cheese. Okay. Okay, so let's look at a couple of videos that you guys have done and tell me what you think you could do better. Let's do that. Because we want to try to come up with some definite strategies on how we can apply some of this information. So what do you think that you can do better? Oh, Mary, what idea do you have for my meatloaf? I'm all for it. Meatloaf sandwiches, love them. Hey, Kenya. So ladies, tell me a video that you looked at as you looked at the metrics and what you thought you could do better. And while I'm thinking about it, guys, there's 24 of us on. If I could get 24 thumbs up, that would be great. Oh, a couple of different types of meatloaf and put them in a playlist. Well, duh, why didn't I think of that? That makes perfect sense. I'm going to write that down. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Playlists always give things a boost. So I've got to put my recall videos into a playlist. But, that whole thing is less than a week and a half old. And it was like I had to do that. And then I was out of town for Easter. And it's just been crazy. But yes, I do need to do a better job of getting things into playlists. I have not been good at that. But I'm going to be working on that. Oh, cheeseburger meatloaf. Okay, I like that idea. You know what I'm going to do coming up? Is there a difference between a playlist and a series playlist? I think there is. There's an official series playlist that you can create. And then you can have a playlist that's just like regular. So yeah, you can make it a series playlist. But right now, I'm not remembering all of the ramifications associated with that. But when you create your playlist on YouTube, you can create a series playlist. And as Mary said, it's rated higher by YouTube. But there are some factors related to if you can make it an official series playlist or not. But yeah, they're rated pretty high. And so then if it's a series playlist, like for example, my infant sleeper recall. So let's say I had a series playlist for that. Then what would happen is once the first video finishes, then the next video would play and then the next video would play. So it's like you just get that cycled right in. So it increases your watch time. So yes. Okay, so Mary explained, if you have a series playlist, you can put that video in another playlist, but it can't be in another series playlist. Oh, Oh, guys, you guys are giving me such great ideas. Bunt pan, meatball pan. Yeah, so a series playlist will definitely help increase our watch time. So yeah, Michelle, you want to check that out. So, and I will put that down as one of the topics, series playlist, that we might want to revisit. So maybe next week I can look into it a little bit more. Julie Marie, when you make your playlist, there's it just tells you on there like how to do it. You don't make it a whole lot different, but there's just a couple different buttons you push is all. So yeah, just I will investigate that more, and we'll talk about it on another one of our Monday discussion sessions. So Cheryl said she added a playlist so that more videos are watched. Yeah, you definitely want to make a playlist. And then the series playlist. What is a series playlist, please? A series playlist is when you have a specific video, a specific topic in a video, like on a specific topic, and it's like an official designation. So when you look at that, every video should be in at least, so yeah, Mary was saying that the YouTube gurus suggest that every video on your channel should be in at least 3 different playlists. Now, I wasn't aware of that, so that's something that we definitely should consider doing. So yeah, I will do some more investigation about the series playlist, and I'll bring that information to us next week so that we have that. So Trisha's got her stroke talk videos in the playlist. Yes, that's good. But when you choose playlist, though, you have the option of making it a series playlist or just a regular playlist. So there's like, you get to choose that. But again, I'll bring more information about that so that I speak with more knowledge than I'm speaking with today. Because whereas I was aware of them, I really hadn't thought a lot about them. So I'll look into that some more. Tim Schmoyer and Benji talked about playlist strategies. Okay, I'll check them out. Tim Schmoyer and Benji about playlists. I will look that up, and I will bring more information about that, and I'll find some videos for you guys to take a look at, just so you've got a jumping off point in regards to that. Okay, one question that I had written down for you to think about is what topics are evergreen on your channel. And if you've got a lifestyle channel, that could prove to be a very puzzling question. So again, what topics on your channel prove to be evergreen and what topics are trending? Now, in my niche of cleaning and cooking, any cleaning video is always evergreen. And whereas my ring around the collar, my laundry videos, those are evergreen. They may not be as popular as others, but they're always relevant. Yeah, Sean's definitely a lot better. I'm going to look around. I'll look around to see what I can find, but I tend to prefer Sean and Nick Nimmin and Brian G. Johnson. So Cheryl, what do you have coming up that Sandra wants to see? You got something gardening wise coming up. You know, me and Luann got to get together to connect on our next collab. We're supposed to be doing the first planting of the season. So we got to connect on that, because it's almost time that I can start thinking about that now in this area. So what topics are evergreen in your niche? Like what could you consider covering next? Oh, that's not right. So Julie, her organizing and cleaning videos. Yes. I've got a couple organizing videos. I just haven't had time to get them up. And, you know, with so many challenges that we've had, and I tried to participate as much as I could, I've missed out on putting some of my signature content up, which is cleaning and cooking and laundry. Okay, let's just talk real quick then about the click-through rate, because I wrote that down for us to be sure to think about. And what we need to think about is the click-through rate and how we can improve that. So Creative Arts says she needs to get back to doing challenges. And Stephanie's got a Six Flags series plan. That should be good. And then, yeah, Mary, almost everything on your channel pretty much is evergreen because people like that basic cooking. So, okay, let's switch topics now, guys, and move to click-through rate. And I learned a lot about, click-through rates because I didn't know anything about it at all until I looked at the video. And one of the things that I realized is that your click-through rate is determined by the number of impressions that you have. And I had to ask myself, like, what is an impression? And I looked at Sean's video a couple times. So ladies, one of the things you want to think about is an impression is every time your thumbnail is shown to anyone on YouTube. If it pops up in the sidebar, if it pops up in recommended videos, if it pops up anywhere on YouTube, that's considered an impression. And then if they just look at it and they scroll through, but they don't stop, that's an impression. So every time they've had the chance to click on it is an impression. And then the click-through rate, or CTR, I was really too surprised that the click-through rates were so low. But if you think about the number of impressions that people might get, people could get 24 million impressions depending upon how wide that particular topic is. But the click-through rate, or CTR, is when people actually click on it. And they determine your click-through rate by the number of impressions and by the number of times it's actually clicked on. So it's your percentage of clicks divided by the number of impressions you received in the search engines. And if you think about what impacts your click-through rate, it's going to be thumbnail, title, and topic. So we have to really figure out a way to hone in on the thumbnail, title, and topic to increase our click-through rates. So what's your takeaway from today's growth strategy subject? So let me have that real quick because I got some other stuff I want to share, but I want to find out what's your takeaway so far. Julie says her click-through rate is 7%. Wow, that's pretty darn good. Click-through rate at 7% is pretty good. Because they're somewhere between 2 and 10. So I think the closer to 10 you want to get, the better. Anybody else? What's your takeaway? 4.3 is Ruth. Stephanie was 6.4. You know what? I thought I wrote mine down, but I don't see it. I was going to try to figure it out. I don't see it now. But it wasn't 7%, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Well, think about that. Take a look at your click-through rates. I want you guys to find your click-through rates so that when you see it and it's actually been measured, then you will begin to think more about how you can improve it. Because until you actually know what it is, you don't know that it needs improving. So take a look at that. And so now let me just say too that, you know, we've got the Laundry Chat series going on as one of our challenges for the Sister Circle. So for those of you who are here, you've stumbled across the Sister Circle, and we're a group of like-minded women who are trying to grow our YouTube channels one subscriber at a time. And we do that by participating in collaborations and challenges and that kind of thing, and supporting one another in that way. So every person that's on with us tonight is not a member of the Sister Circle, but many of the ladies here are. But everyone that is here is welcome. So I just wanted to say that, just so you know, when we talk about the laundry chats. And Stephanie was just saying that the click-through rate, a large degree, depends upon the thumbnail. And that is absolutely true. And then once they see the thumbnail, then they look at the title. And then based upon the thumbnail and the title, they determine whether or not they're going to actually look at the video. And Kenya said she's done her laundry chat and that it was a lot of fun. So now let me just talk a little bit about that. So Kenya, I did the laundry chat to set it in motion, and I challenged Kenya and Bowhead Laura. Kenya tagged Miss V, and V posted her video on Saturday, and her topic was stress. And then she tagged Everyday Living with Karen Jeter and Karen Denise. Kenya also challenged Cindy at Create with Cindy, and Cindy posted her video today, and she was sharing about how and why she started her YouTube channel. And then Cindy challenged Diva, Kim at Diva Designing on a Dime. And also she challenged you, Liz, at Home Decorating with Liz. And then Ro was challenged by Laura, and Ro did her video a few days ago. And Ro challenged, and her title was quite interesting because Ro's title was that her big lie was finally revealed. So that's definitely a teaser. I didn't get a chance to look at it yet, but I'm definitely wondering, what did she lie about? And she challenged Dana at Bitty Boo Brown and Deborah at Simply Deborah. So those are the challenges that are out right now. And I'll get their videos put in the Laundry Chats playlist. I'll do that like as soon as we're done. Like I said, I got back from Georgia today, so I didn't get a chance to get them into the playlist, but I will. And please remember that when you get tagged, what you talk about is up to you. And then you tag 2 people, and one of the people can be from the Sister Circle, or both of them can be from the Sister Circle. You can decide that. But if you do one inside and one outside of the circle, it just kind of gets more people's eyeballs on your chats. Now, this is the thing, though. Remember, when you do those tags, when you do those chats, these are ways to get more content, more searchable content on your channel. Even though they're a lot of fun, you want people to look at them because this is going to be content on your channel and you want it to help grow your views and grow your subscribership. So that's what you want to do. So, and I'm going to come to those. And did I have my notes out of order? Okay, so one of the things that I've been looking at is, like, if you look at our assignment in our Facebook group, one of the things we were challenged to do in the circle, and that includes anybody not in the circle. If you're on here listening, you got the same challenge. Yes, takeaway today is to review your analytics. Absolutely. So one of the challenges or assignments that we've had is to try to tweak our intro and our outro. When we looked at the videos by Nick Nimmons, one of the things that he talked about was that we really needed to work on improving our intro and our outros. And if you improve your intro or your hook, your teaser, your introduction, that will improve your watch time, because if people know that that they need to know that they're in the right place. So that's what you want to do. So a couple of you have said, how can I become a member of the Sister Circle? And you can become a member of the Sister Circle by joining in with us on Monday. Like on our Monday, our YouTube Strategy Mondays discussion sessions. You jump in with us on Monday, share, interact with the other ladies here. And we also encourage you to jump in on the Sunday Shout Out Sunday show, where we talk about updates on invites and collaborations and different things like that. You don't have to come to both Sunday and Monday. We have a lot of fun if you do, but you need to come to one of the other, and then you become a member of the Sister Circle. We do have a Facebook group that I need to update some stuff on, but Luann Clotworthy and myself are the administrators for that. So Julie Marie says, your struggle is keeping watchers. Julie, what do you mean by that? Are you losing people? Are you losing subscribers, or are there bailing halfway through or partway through. So is it audience retention or are you losing subscribers? Yeah, Kenya, we talked about this last week and I don't think you were on. I think you had to work late. Yes, Penny, I did tag you for the Timeless Elegance Decor tag. Okay, audience retention. So then, Julie, I think what you're going to have to look at is take a look at those numbers to see what number are they leaving and then what are you doing at that time. So are they leaving at 3 minutes? Are they leaving at 5 minutes? I have found that sometimes when I'm doing the live streams, that I'll have people that jump on and that are watching and waiting. And then once we get started, they're gone. And I realize that what's happening is that maybe what we're talking about is not what they want to hear. Now, Cheryl said she just jumps right in with her intro. She just says, welcome, and starts talking. And I have to say, if you guys want to see a very interesting intro, is Sandra at A Beautiful Nest. I was looking at her channel last week, and she did a great job with her intro. It's like her video just came on, and you saw this beautiful scenery. You could hear the birds chirping, that kind of thing. And she was doing a voiceover about a few different things. And it was really quite a bit into the video before I actually saw her beautiful face. But I thought her introduction was just so nice. And I think I left her a comment that I thought her intro was very nice. And then what Ruth does for her intro is when she comes on, and really lately, when they talk about what's trending in your niche, what I've noticed that's trending in cleaning videos is overviews, voiceovers. Rather than the talking while you're cleaning, the voiceovers are trending right now. And Ruth is doing that. So you'll see her come on and it opens up and she's cleaning something already. And then she starts talking about what it is she's going to talk about. You see her face and then you see her sting or her bumper, which is you hear that little song. You see her hubby, you see the dog, and then she goes into whatever it is that she's talking about that day. That's what I'm talking about. But Nick Nimmons, when we looked at his videos last week, emphasized that you need to have some kind of an intro. But what we did talk about was that for the guys, they can make it like bam, hard. But for ladies, I think it needs to be a little softer. And so I've been trying to practice that in case you guys have noticed. And what did I say today? Let me see. Because I've been trying to script out my videos. So this is what I said for my intro today. I said, if you've been struggling to understand YouTube analytics and then want to sort out how to apply those metrics to your YouTube channel, then you're in the right place. So that was my intro to let people know this is what we're going to talk about. And they're here. And if this is not what they want to hear, then they can go ahead and bounce. So that's what I've been trying to think about. So good night, Creative Arts. It was good to have you with us. Or I should say creative by nature. It was good to have you with us. So that's what I was working on. And Cindy, we've already talked about you. And yes, you've missed it all. No, I'm just teasing you. But there's some stuff that I was going to talk about in just a minute. So, okay, so here's what I wanted to talk about, though. We talked about tweaking the intro. And one of the things that I wanted to do was like look to see who's taken action over the last few days. And I can't look at everybody's video, but I did notice a few things. So Sharon at Creative Glam, and I just love her. It's like, I'm Sharon. And if you're new to my channel, I just love her voice. But she put out a call to action or an invitation or a teaser about stopping back to see her herb garden. So this was in her useful DIY video. So she had mentioned a couple things she was doing, and then she said, oh, and she showed something she was going to be using for her herb garden and said, you'll have to stop back to see it. So that was like a little teaser or a call to action for us to come back to see something else that would kind of like tweak our interest. And then Ruth at Kentucky Fried Fun told about having a spring cleaning series and asked people to check it out. And she gave a little teaser about like what was coming up. And so that was one of the things we've been talking about, was getting those things in. And then Clarissa asked us to stay until the end of the video to see pictures of her finished project. So she said, so this is what I'm doing now. And we could see her as she was working on different things. And then she said, so stay until the end, and then I'll show you a picture of the finished project. So like a promise. Okay, Cindy's screen is frozen. So now let me just talk a little bit about some titles. And I know several of the ladies are gone now, but I think it's important for us to address this. So when we look at the Laundrel chats, again, they are meant to help you have content on your channel that is searchable and that is lasting. So let's take a look at Rose's title. Rose's title was Laundrel Chat Tag, My Lie is Finally Revealed, and Chat with Me. So what were her key words? Well, her key word was Laundrel Chat. And then she also had laundry chat in her description, and Chat with Me was in her title. So she had two key phrases or two key words in her title, Laundrel Chat and Chat with Me. And she led with her keyword of choice, which was Laundrel Chat. Now, there was no video description though, so that could be an issue because there was just no description of the video, so YouTube can't search that. The search engines can't search that very well or find out what it's about if there's no description there. So there was that. Now on these Laundrel Chat, she led with hashtag, which was hashtag stress relief and hashtag let's talk. And then the title, Laundrel Chat and Let's Talk About Stress and the Effects on the Body, and then April 2019. So you got a really long title. And for her thumbnail, though, her thumbnail was great. It was like one big word on the thumbnail, which was Laundrel Chat. And you could see V in the background. She had this big pile of laundry she was holding like this. And then the word Laundrel Chat. It was very nice. Great keyword. Great thumbnail. But there were no tags on her video. So Laundrel Chat, none of that. There was no tags at all in her description box. So you know how where you put the tags in, there was none of those in there. But she gave a very nice call to action. So she had just gotten the video started, and then she said, wait, pause the video and go and take a poll on the community tab on her channel. So she does a Friday night game show, and she was asking people what game they wanted to play this coming Friday night. She said, so if you haven't done it already, pause the video, go on over and answer the poll, and then come back on over here. So there was that. And then she shared about her game night. So a great call to action, but no tags. Now her description could have been better optimized. This is what her description said. I am participating in the Laundrel Chat video where I do my laundry and talk about my preferred topic. Now, none of her keywords were in the description box except for Laundrel Chat, which is a good one. But she didn't lead the title with Laundrel Chat. So those are some things to think about. And only about 1 1/4 of the 3 lines that are optimized. Yeah, Cindy, I'm coming to you next. But only about 1 1/4 of the top 3 lines were optimized. So you get the top 3 lines in your description box are most searchable. So those are the 3 lines that you want to make sure you've gotten optimized with the key phrases, your title, and things like that, so that you get found in search. So there's that. So be sure to think about those things, because even though the Laundrel Chats are fun, we want them to work for you and to be a good video content on your channel. Particularly if you're passionate about the topic you're talking about, you want people to find it, and you want more than just us to find it. So there's that. So then Cindy did her Laundrel Chat today, and she just, the Laundrel Chat was her title, just the 3 words, and then it was hashtag Laundrel Chat and hashtag why I started my YouTube channel were her two tags, the hashtags that she used. And then her description was, we are to do laundry and chit chat. I will be discussing how and why I started my YouTube channel. So she only used one line of the three that are most searchable. And then there were no keywords in her description. And some words you could have considered using, Cindy, was laundro chat, and then laundry chat, chit chat, and laundry, because chit chat is a good keyword. That one pops up a lot. So laundro chat, chit chat, and laundry are words that you can consider using. And you can certainly go back and optimize that too. So you just might want to optimize for the search engine a bit more. Oh, well, Kenya, you saying you hope your video was optimized. Well, you had did I write yours down? Because I did look at it. And since you brought it up, Kenya, when I looked at yours, the title was great and you optimized your title perfectly. Then I looked at your description box. What you had in the description box was a description for Wani's video for the 2-room house tour. That was the description you had in there. Now, you had over 600 views on that video. So you have enough subscribers that your title and your regular viewers love whatever you do. So it carried you along, but your description did not match your title. And I know you probably did like I do sometimes. Like I'll copy and paste different things and you just forgot to change that. But I wasn't going to point that out until you brought it up. So there's that. So if you're not optimizing, you're missing out on potential views and potential watch time. Okay, so you've changed that. Okay, all right, good. Yeah, all right. Well then, yeah, I haven't seen it since you changed it then. But, and you know, all the things that I'm mentioning are meant in support of all of us because we can all learn from each other and the different things that we have here. So none of it is meant maliciously. So please don't think that at all. Yeah, because I'll copy and paste things from the video, put it in an email it to myself so I can put it on my iPad when I'm doing a live stream. And then sometimes the things I'm finding, I'm like, woo, I'm glad I caught that before it went live. So yeah. All right. I think. So yeah, so Cindy, you'll want to work on your title and work on your tags because, you know, I think people will want to know why you started your channel. And I felt like your voice was just so comforting and just so relaxing as you shared your story. So yeah, you want people to find you. All right. So now let me just say, I think I already said that. So guys, do you have anything else or do you think we're about done here? Any other comments or questions or do you think we're good? I will look for that information about the series and the series playlist for next Monday. So I'll bring that. I'll find a video assignment for you guys to watch in regards to that. And I want to encourage you to continue to look at analytics. You know, we just barely scratched the surface and I'm just, you know, like my head is just pulsating at what I'm learning, but it's just been so nice. And it's nice to be able to talk about it with you guys because it's one thing to listen to Sean or Nick Nimmons talk about it on a video. It's another thing to be able to talk to a real live person like face to face and have somebody talk back. So remember, one of the things we want to think about is to level up 1%. So we want to try to improve everything we do on our videos, at least prove one thing on the videos by 1%. And you get to decide what that one thing is and then just work on trying to improve that by 1% and figure out how you're going to know when you've achieved that goal. And if you like this video, if you like today's discussion session, like this video, meaning hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe. And I'd love to have you as a member of the TNT community. And just keep in mind, too, that the things we do here, that we do together as a group, I'm not saying what we do here, stay here like in Vegas. No, but the things that we do here are meant to help us grow our YouTube channels one subscriber at a time. So most of us are here because we want to take action and grow. So let's see what we can do, to take some action. So again, consider tweaking those introductions and those closings. And remember, we said we're not going to say, like I just said just now, well, we're going to wrap this up. But I'm talking to my sisters here. I'm not talking to like vague people in YouTube land. And I'm hoping they don't jump off before I say good night. But one of the things that we want to do in working on our outro is not say, well, that's it for now, but to try to figure out a way to ease into that closing so they don't know we're closing and just kind of jump off then. So think about that. And let's continue to dive into our YouTube analytics and be supportive to one another. So if there's some ladies that were on tonight that you didn't know, click on their comment. And you know what? I didn't get a chance to look at your spotlight tonight. Kim, I knew you did it, but I just didn't have a chance to look at it to see who you focused on. So Darcy, who was Diva's spotlight on? Because I always share that on Sunday. And I was trying not to repeat everything that I would normally do on Sunday. But who was the spotlight on? Tell me that. Because I always think it's a good idea for us to support that person. So who was the spotlight on? Diva, who did you focus on this week? Who did you shine your light on? Don't everybody type it in at once. Do, 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 do. Oh, was it Mary's Nest? Was Mary's Nest who Kim focused on this week? Oh, okay. I'll watch it when we get done. I usually watch it, and I just, like I said, I got back in town from Georgia today, and then I had to kind of hit the ground running and then kind of half catching a cold. So yes, but yeah, we're working on opening and closing our videos, and that's our assignment. And I'll update stuff over on the Facebook group between tonight and tomorrow. So, okay, so Mary's Nest was the spotlight. Well, cool beans. I certainly think that was a good person to do because her channel has been growing rapidly. She hasn't been on YouTube that long, and I mean, girlfriend is blowing up. So great. Congratulations, Mary's Nest. Yes. So yeah, and Penny, you can always give me a call. So thanks guys, and I think we should probably wrap it up. We've been on an hour and a half. I'm sure you guys are tired of looking at me, and my voice is starting to crack. And my husband said the game is on, so I guess that means I need to stop talking so he can turn the TV on. So yeah. So all right, guys, there's just 19 of you guys on. I want to thank you for hanging in there with me. I so appreciate it. And I learned a lot tonight too, Ruth. I learned a lot. I learned from all of you guys too. So there are people out there that know a lot more than I do about some things. And between us working together, we're getting it. And I'm certainly learning quite a bit myself. So thank you guys for all you do. And next Sunday, I'm going to try to, let me quit talking. Anyway, I will talk to you guys next Sunday night.